Do you remember these moments when you were questioned by the management board or supervisory board? You had to defend your business ideas, model assumptions, and beliefs regarding the future. I remember these moments too well. The CFO challenged my financial assumptions. Operations asked whether the plan was actually feasible. HR questioned whether the organization had the capacity to deliver. Legal raised risks that I have not even thought were possible. And looking back, I sometimes think, if only I had a way to anticipate those questions before the meeting. Today, AI makes that possible. In this episode, I created a virtual board inside Claude. 5 personas: CFO, CEO, head of operations, HR director, head of legal and compliance. I gave them a business model from a previous episode and asked them to challenge it from their perspective. And the result was incredibly rigorous. I'll also show you how to turn this idea into a Claude skill, so you can use the same approach to challenge your own business ideas. Forget about prompt books. Future is about skills. I'm Alexandra, an ACCA qualified transformation leader. I've led more than €1 billion in enterprise programs across capital-intensive organizations. Now, let's see how the board reacts. So we're opening Chat Claude and we're entering a prompt. We want to build a virtual supervisory board for my business ideas. I will have following personas: CFO, HR director, CEO, head of operations, head of legal. And how to best structure this task. So Claude answers that we can use a ready-to-use system prompt or React artifact. So I'm choosing the first one. So it has generated this system prompt. We see how it's structured. It's called Virtual Supervisory Board. We see the description of it, how will it express itself, and we see the personas. So CFO will look from the financial point of view, HR director from the people lens, CEO will think about the market and the demand. Head of operations, on the other hand, will test whether the idea is actually feasible. Head of legal and compliance will test financial risks. So we see how it goes. I'm saving the skill. I'm going to customize to skills. I'm uploading the skill and then it's ready to be used. It will be launched whenever I'm asking for challenging my business concept. Okay, so now let's test how it actually works. I will go to a new chat window and I'm uploading my business model from the previous episode. Remember, I have built a model around investing in new orange juice production line. It's an Excel model having some assumptions. And now let's think what kind of questions my personas would ask, how they would challenge my business assumption. Okay, we have the response. So CFO says, okay, you have a nice IRR, you have a nice WACC, NPV, that's fine, but let's be honest, it's a bit too realistic, too optimistic. Variable costs, orange raw material, actually are flat in your simulation, which is really unrealistic. On the other hand, revenues rise over time, so this is a real asymmetry, something to question about. If there is a spike in raw costs, how it would impact the EBIT. So here you see the question that the CFO could ask. HR director, on the other hand, asks, okay, you have allocated some costs to labor and you freeze them, which is not realistic. You need to take into account that the wages might rise over time. CEO, on the other hand, questions the demand outlook. So we see after the ramp up, it would remain stable. How about the distribution? How about changes to the offtake? Have you tested the demand? Have you made a survey across potential clients? So who are these clients? These are legitimate questions that the CEO may ask. Head of operations, on the other hand, says, okay, you have modeled there would be 15 million euro in investment in year zero, but how about CAPEX investments over time? Because in your industry, we need to assume 3% of CAPEX as a routine maintenance cost over time. So have you thought about that? Head of legal, on the other hand, asks, okay, how about EU food safety regulation? Has it been taken into account? How about other directives? Has a legal counsel looked at this model? Is it right? Okay, so I must say that the grilling was pretty rigorous. I have the feedback. The optimism bias was definitely there in the model. There are some serious challenges to the model raised, and I'm asking, okay, given all these concerns, how would you judge my business model? Would you give a go? Oh, let's see what we have. So CFO would give a no-go actually because of the cost asymmetry. HR director would abstain because he or she doesn't have enough information. A CEO would give a no, head of operations no as well, and head of legal no-go. So actually 4 no-go, 1 abstain, which from my point of view is great because now I know what to correct in my business case. So what happened when the virtual supervisory board reviewed the business model? The discussion quickly became much more rigorous. The insights given by different personas were so realistic. But imagine taking this one step further. Imagine feeding the model with historical conversations or past board discussions. Then the CFO persona would start thinking and talking like your actual CFO, using the same language, raising the same concerns about capital allocation and risk. Your HR persona could highlight the same people challenges your HR director typically raises, and your legal persona could flag the types of compliance issues your legal team cares about most. At that point, AI is no longer theory. This is simulation of a real investment committee, supervisory board, or management board meeting. Of course, this doesn't replace real leadership discussions or governance, but it can dramatically improve the quality of thinking before ideas reach the investment committee. If you found this experiment useful, subscribe to the channel because in the next episodes, we continue exploring how AI can support real decision-making in finance and business.